Myself, Manuel Lara. I am very happy and honored to take the position of Director of Coaching for our CCFC. Just this past month, I completed my U.S. National C license, which was super awesome. I had a great experience in Ventura. It's a whole big process of about 4 to 5 months, and it's about 180 hours of work that you have to put into it. And it's very hard. I kid you not. And the instructors, they drill you, which is awesome. Here we go. So I want to start off with a nice quote, and I want to give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and take it in. So, a good coach can save a game. A great one can change a life. Think of that amazing, powerful word when you change a life. All of you guys are life changers. Think of that. Think of, in your lifetime, you have that 1, 2, at the most, maybe 2 mentors that changed your life, that you looked up, you looked up to. And that's what we are as a figure for these kids. We are life changers. When you think of that and that powerful impact, pásale, coming in. Don't worry about it. You're not interrupt me. Let's go seat back here. So think of that as.
Here you go, buddy.
So think of that as your coach. It's just that. A little bit about myself. I started coaching in AYSO, Region 19 and 1031 since 2011. I've been coaching for the last 3 years at the club level. I currently hold the E, the D, and the C license as of this past month. And my hobby, one of the things that I love to do, I run. Actually, I ran 15 marathons in my lifetime and 30 half marathons. This past year was my very first year that I missed a marathon. And that was because I had a new baby. I was born on a Friday night and the marathon was Sunday. And my wife was in the hospital, and it wasn't going to happen that I was in the baby. So that was the only reason I missed one marathon. So, and we're training again for the next one. So director experience, I've been working for the last 16 years as an experienced director with LAUSD. Also with Star Education Program as a traveling program supervisor and as a program site director. I have over 20 years of experience working with youth. Pretty much as I got to high school, I started working with kids. I have trained over 300 students to train for the LA Marathon as a high school students run LA coach. I currently still do that. I practice with the high school on Tuesdays and after school, and then I go and we train on Saturdays in the morning. We go to the Venice and we do workouts, and it's super fun. I want to say a super fun experience for me when you bump into a kid that you trained 10 years ago, and now this kid is a trainer himself, inspiring other kids to run. And he's like, oh man, you guys changed my life with my wife and me, because my wife runs to run. So you're a mentor, you're a life changer. So that's just a great moment. Additional trainings, I participated in trainings with Don Scott, the head strength and fitness coach of the U.S. Women's National Team. This past summer, I did two sessions with the 80 Bootyard, the Eden U21 head coach, phenomenal guy. One of my favorite guys, I met Alvaro Galindo from Club America, the assistant coach, and the topic was how to manage and develop youth players at the highest level of soccer. And when you hear powerful messages from people at, Primera División, England International, and they're giving you their messages of what they're going through, what they're experiencing, it's powerful when you take that in. So, just to have those encounters with people, it elevates your game. My personal goal in the next few years, I have to wait a minimum of 12 months so I can apply for the B license. So that's going to be for next year. Eventually, after the B license, you have to wait, I believe, a period of 24 months. So I will be applying for the A license from there. My passion, the coach. And I want to continue this journey to the highest level, to the college level and the professional level. And my goal is that within the next, after I get my A license, I'm going to be a college coach. And that's the mindset where it's not like if, it's I am going to be coaching college. Where? I don't know. But it's going to happen. So that's the determination that you have to have when you have that vision. My coaching philosophy, my goal is for all players to develop fundamentals of the game and develop their skills and technicality of the game at a club soccer level. It sounds simple, but it's very difficult, as all of you guys know. For all players to have a positive outlook in soccer and in life, because 1% of all athletes, become professionals, and 99% of the other ones become regular human beings that are going to go out there and make a difference in the world. I want to encourage players to become critical thinkers and problem solvers during the game and in everything that they do. And that's a big one. If you're either a problem solver or a problem maker, so you want to be the problem solver, right? Ooh. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to read this code. I believe some of you guys may recognize this guy from a couple of games here and there. So no coach ever stops learning. That's what makes the great coaches great. They strive to learn more every day, and they never stop asking questions. So imagine if this man, at the highest level of football, soccer, in the world, is always striving to keep learning and to keep asking questions. So us, that we're in the developing part, which eventually gets players to this level, should always be striving to keep learning. From whatever it is that you love to do. And if you love what you're doing, you're gonna be greater, not just great. Because I feel like everybody here is already great. If not, you wouldn't be here, right? So one of the things we're gonna be focusing on as my personal goal is the growth mindset. And I've been very blessed to have good mentors that literally put this in my head. And one of my mentors was a principal of what we're going to be kind of covering. I'm sorry. What we're going to be covering. First of all, that was the introduction of the new director of coaching. That was myself. Now we're going to go into the introduction of the coach and the assistant coach. But before that, you guys obviously know the president, Chris, is here. Thank you for your presence. And we just want to acknowledge the president is here, right? So, cool. So introduction to the coaches and assistant coaches. If you can just give us your name, the team that you coach, and just an icebreaker. If you can be an animal, what animal will you be one? Just simple. Think about it. So I'll go first. My name is Manuel Lara. I coach the 2007 girls, currently for CCFC, and I also coach 2004, 2005, 2006 boys for U14 anyway. So, if I could be an animal, I would think of myself as a shark, a pretty white shark. He's always moving. Not because he's the killer, but just because he's always moving. Always moving around. All right, cool. So, we're gonna put the ladies on the spot first. And as a gentleman, I try to teach my kid to be a gentleman, and we're gonna let the ladies go first, and then we'll make our way around.
Yeah. So I'm Laura. I'm an assistant coach for the girls of 3, and if I could be an animal, I would be a lion, just because I feel that lions have the power to do anything, and so I feel like I have the power to do anything I want, and I could, yeah.
You gotta give it up for
I'm Sabrina, and I'm a coach for the boys 2005. And for an animal, I guess I'll say an elephant. I feel like they're just ancient, old, pretty calm. So I don't know. I always liked elephants. I can't even understand the way they're made. They're so big, horns, everything. People always fantasize about the horns. So
thank you guys. Clap it up for her. This side all the way around.
All right, I'm Coach Herman Molina. I coached the boys 2002. If I can choose an animal, it would be a jaguar. Just fearless and quick. Yeah.
Coach Edgar. I coach the 2009 boys and girls. I have a girl on the team. If I was an animal, it would be a Kittlewell. Because, just fierce animal, best animal I think in the ocean. So.
Nice. Clap it over him, guys. Just to give you guys, it takes courage to talk and share your feelings, guys. So remember that. Be vulnerable.
I'm Christian. I'm coach also for the boys 05 Silver Elite, and if I had to choose an animal, I'd probably choose a koala just because they're so calm and mellow.
All right. Hey.
Hey, my name is Juan Castro. I'm with them too. We coach the boys 05. An animal, I don't know. A dog, I guess. I don't know.
It's okay.
He likes to be fed. My name, I coach the 2011 girls. For an animal, I think an eagle. I'm missing my eyesight, so eagles are pretty good at that, and they're really fast and they're fly. And they see everything from above.
Want me to change it?
Next time, bro.
My name is Jesse Colosio. I'm the coach for the boys 2009 Gold. And for an animal, a gorilla, I guess.
I'm gonna wait.
Big, strong, kind of fearless as well.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Jeff,
My name is Brian Urban. I have the girls 2008 bronze. We're a new team. And for an animal, I like grizzly bears. In this life, you either prey or you're a predator. And they're on the top of the food chain, and they're the partner. So.
all right, Brian. We got to do my killers here, man.
Chris Colocho, I'm assistant for Girls 05. If I could be animal, it's an elephant, it's a grizzly. See, I could be a gazelle, right?
Darren Daggett, also with the girls 05. And you told him to sit still. I was going to say chameleon, just to be adaptable to situations.
Nice. Thank you.
Rafael, not coaching a team right now.
No worries.
Just representing. But if I were to be an animal, I think it would be a dog. Just they're noble. They're always there for me.
Nice.
Name is Rene Perez. I'm coaching, assistant coach in 2011 boys. And if I were to be an animal, I'd say I'm a mamba, just because I like Kobe. You got the mamba
Yeah. My name is Coach Martinez. I'm coaching 2006 boy. If I choose an animal, I think I like a tiger. Tiger, that's a strong animal, a lot of strategy, and ready to attack.
Nice.
My name is Severio Catanzariti. I'm the assistant coach for the girls 2007. He took my tiger. I don't like to lose, so probably killer whale. Nothing against a killer whale, right? Or a tiger, so I hate losing. Even coaching, I hate losing. But I can't let the girls know that. There we go. Yeah.
Nice. Well, as you guys can see, sometimes those little icebreakers will just make you comfortable in an environment where you should feel comfortable. And it's okay if you're down, and that's completely okay. So little by little, we're gonna build that relationship where you get to know the person that's next to you, in front of you, to your side, because that's what a team is. And if we are expecting from our players to be that team in unison and always working together, then should that also be for us as a team, as a club, to be the leaders of, lead by example? And that starts here in this, the room, in the field. But it all starts at home when you wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, and one of the greatest philosophers in the world, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, said, When you wake up in the morning, you have two choices. Either you're happy or you're not happy. And that's it. And you make your choice. For whatever reason, you make your choice. Now, if you ever get a chance to read that book, The Power of Positive Thinking is incredible. The author is Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and it's incredible. It's just, I mean, there's hundreds of books out there, but all of the new philosophers, motivators, mentors, listen to this book first. So what we're going to do now in the next, literally just 5 minutes, we're going to get a chance to walk around, go to two coaches that you do not know. So you guys cannot talk to each other, that you do not know, and just ask them, how's your season going? And share briefly 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes each, and then switch to the next person. So you have to meet two new people that you do not know, and just ask them, how's your season going? All right, ready? 5 minutes, let's go. This is your time, guys. It's your club, right? This is your club. Yeah, if you're sitting next to somebody, find somebody.
We're 1-10 right now.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, so I was saying both. And I thought at first I was like, yeah, probably like the only club right now suffering.
No, well, our team, I set up with a brand new team in March. And I started with like 7 kids. Then I dropped to like 4 or 6. And I picked
Assistant coach. So you have Mildred with you?
Yeah.
She played with us last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I brought her to the club, but she started playing with us first.
Yeah, we're undefeated. We had 6 wins, 3 ties, and that was our first loss. So that puts us in 3rd place in the bracket out of 8. Which is not bad. The gold bracket, right? It's the highest level of competition. We still have 4 more games left in the season. It's going to be tough. We got some tough teams.
Game-like scenarios that no practice. Whatever it is that So, if you got to 1, no problem. It's 5 minutes, it's not that much time, but it is gives you an opportunity to meet somebody else that, again, you have not had the opportunity to meet. Because either some of us practice on different days, and you don't see each other. Or you're so focused in practice that you don't bother to stop and say, hey, what's going on, what are you doing? Because you're so in your game, right? So this is the moment, and this is the place where we're gonna have those moments. And having coaching meetings is gonna make us a tighter unit. We're gonna go ahead and talk about, for this new season coming up, the 2020-2021, we're looking for new teams. We're not looking for new teams, we're trying to create the new teams. Obviously, we need to train the new younger kids that are coming up for 2013. And we're gonna focus on the boys and the girls for that. Now, the next, pretty much the next 3-4 months, we're gonna be having trials, which I'll go over that. The 2013, 2012, 10s, 2007s, pretty much all the way from 2013 to 2010, those 4 years are going to be the feeders for the club in the next 4 or 5 years. Because those are going to be the kids that are going to be already 12, 13, 14. And right now we have Renee, Brian are working with the little kids. I'm missing somebody at school is working. You have the all 9s as well? 11. So 11s. So you guys are right now. Sorry, the all 9s. Yeah. So you guys have the little ones that are going to be the funnel, and we have to be building those teams just like the 2009s are deep, 3 teams, incredible. So we need to make sure we're funneling those new kids that are coming up to play. So for that, we're going to be hiring coaches, and this is the moment where you, as a coach, if you know any coaches, you want to refer them over. Obviously, you want to refer people that will not make you look bad. And guess what? I have family members that I will not refer to anything, because you know how they say there's always that bad apple from the tree, right? So we're going to be hiring coaches. We're going to be hiring coaches that want to be part of a team, that are going to be learning-based oriented. We're focusing on the growth mindset. And we want to make sure that we have the right people, just like you guys are here, right? We want to make sure that the right people are sitting next to you next year. So boys 2013, 2012, 2010, 2007, and 2004. For those older kids, 2004, it's harder to get kids because either they're already playing for a club, they lose interest, and that's the mission. That's the hard part of getting kids, right? Getting the kids that want to be in a club, that are the type of kids that say, hey, Dad, Mom, I can't miss practice, you need to get into practice. And that's what we want. So we'll leave that up there for you guys. If you know anybody, please refer it over to the club so we can go from there. Any ideas or suggestions that you guys may have, I would love for you guys to have Post-its on the table. If you need some, please grab some. Any questions, ideas, comments that you have, write them down. At the end of the meeting, we're going to do a question and answer. We're going to share around to see what's in your mind. Anything that comes up to your mind, share. Because the only way we can address something, or we can tackle a problem or any scenario, is if we know about it. And guess what? We have very experienced coaches here, where you might know something that somebody else is experiencing with, that you already addressed or had an issue with, and you had an opportunity to address it. So we have a lot of experience here, and if we add up all the years of experience that we have here, tons. Imagine that. That's amazing. Coaches Professional Development and License. So COUTSAL, as of right now, offers every year. They offer about 3 to 4 clinics, professional development clinics, where they'll bring people like Don Scott, the U21 coach for England, and all these professional development meetings are amazing when you go. Again, you get to meet like-minded coaches that want to continue to grow and want to continue to get better, and this is where you find these people. So we're going to be CCFC, which is an awesome thing, will now pay for all the coaches and assistants to attend as a whole club to these meetings. And that's a big deal. So we're going to, once the dates come out, I'm going to send them out, but it is the expectation that all of us here as a team, we go to this coaches trainings. And again, think of it as a journey. We expect and we demand from our players the same thing. We expect them to be at practice. We expect them to be at the games. As far as they are, guess what? Everybody's there, right? Everybody shows up. You gotta go to San Bernardino, guess what? Everybody's making that 2-hour drive. You gotta stay overnight, guess what? Most of us are spending your money out of your pocket to stay in those hotels. And it costs a lot of money. So now, we want to make sure that CCFC, and I want to thank Chris for making this happen. I know it wasn't happening before, so it's a big deal. So keep that in mind. Now CCFC will pay for that. And as an added bonus, which is not on the agenda, which I was actually thinking of it as I came in, I myself personally am going to treat all of you guys to lunch when we go to these meetings. So that way when we go for lunch, we can all go as a team. You don't like tacos, we'll go to sub. I mean, we'll figure out something that everybody likes. If you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, we'll figure something out. We'll get the sandwich with no meat, just pure tomatoes and greens. So again, all these things are because we want you guys to become a whole unit as the way we operate, as the way we think, as the way we coach, as a team. And that's the big word, a team. We are one club. This organization has been around for already 20 years. Most of you guys were at the 4th anniversary of the casino, which is the 20-year anniversary. My first time there, I was lucky enough to win a basket. So I was very happy. But anyways, what are we looking for the next 10 years for this club? That's a big question for you guys. Some of us may not be around for that. For you, might go other, different journeys, whatever. But if you are planning to keep changing lives, this is the place to be. Think about it. Culver City has been on our radar for 20 years. We just celebrated. Now, what can we do for the next 10 years as a big goal? So if you have any ideas, write them down. Any idea is a good idea. Trust me. Trust me. There's no wrong ideas. So think of that as we move on for the next decade. Again, big picture. The license, next year, the B license will be mandatory for all coaches by the U.S. Soccer Association. If you go to the CalSal for the registration, when you click on the registration, now it's telling you, big capital letters, it will be mandatory for the coaches to have the D license to coach. And that's just all the way across the U.S. soccer. It's not our rules, it's U.S. soccer. Tryouts are going to be going on, so for the tryouts, let's move on to the tryouts. Tryouts are always ongoing. Any player wishing to join CCFC may request to attend a team training session. They can contact either the coach or contact me, the director of coaching. Our site doesn't have all the updates for the coaches, their bios, their information, and that's one of the things that little by little we're going to add into the website. So that way when parents do go into the website, they're looking for that particular team, click on it, coach's name, information, team picture, contact information, email. They can send you an email or they can send me an email. But we're going to update that. So get ready for a little bio. I know that Rosa was already collecting some bios from coaches. So if you already turn one in from Rosa, I'll get it from her. But if not, any little bio that we can add into the profile with your photo, we're going to make you guys and ladies look super awesome. What you guys already do, just fancy uniforms, and now with new backpacks. So remember that. Any player, if they want to come out to your training session, invite them. If you know any player that wants to come out to a training session that's not in your club, that's not in your team, send a message. Hey, who's the coach for this team? And now we're getting to know each other more. Oh yeah, well I know that Saverio is 2007. Herman is the 2002. Yes? So little bits like that are going to make us a better team, better unit. We're going to be holding tryouts starting November, pretty much next month. The month is coming fast, and the way we see it, season pretty much for the January 16, I believe, it stops for CSL play, and then afterwards is State Cup. But November, we're going to have our first tryouts. So start preparing for that. I'm going to be sending you guys some emails. I'm actually going to be expecting you guys to reply so you can tell me your availability to see what the coaches can run the session for us while the other coaches does the observation to see who we can select. Again,
Wait.
but
Repeat that again. Maybe I missed something. What are we doing?
so all the coaches, if we're looking at the 2006, let's say 2006 boys, whoever's not the coach for the 2006 boys can run that session. The official coach for that can do the observation, make notes. Either Chris, myself will be there helping out. But whoever is not coaching that team can do the session. So that way everybody else can observe. Like I'm not gonna have Jesse run a session for the 2009s and for him to evaluate, see the kids, focus on the session. Either somebody else can run the session. So just be prepared for that we're all going to get involved in it. And everyone is going to be expected to help.
So it's
Yes?
like a college tryout type of system, like big group of coaches on the sides?
We'll have, similar to that, we'll have girls tryouts, boys tryouts, different dates, different age groups. But yes, hopefully, depending on the turnout, we're in a perfect world, you want to expect a full field, tons of kids, you're out there with a list of, 100 kids overall to look. But knowing in reality, guess what? We might get 5, 6, 7 kids for any particular age group, and if we're lucky, we might get a full team, which happens all the time. So get ready for that. November, December, January, February, and March. We'll have those dates. We're kind of working on that. We'll have those dates hopefully by next week for you guys. The whole team needs to participate in the trial process. And again, word of mouth is a big one. You guys are the ambassadors of CCFC. Wherever you go, you should be proud to say, hey man, I coach for CCFC. When I went for my C license and when I was doing did one of my observations, everybody's wearing their club shirts, man. So I'm wearing my CCFC shirt, proud, did my lesson, did my recording, all CCFC. And every time they ask me, where do you coach? Man, I coach at Culver City, CCFC, man. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I coach at Sir, I coach at this other place. And everybody's very proud to say where they coach. So that should be us as well. When you're walking around, man, you're wearing that CCFC logo in your heart, and that's why they put it here, right? It should be in your heart. So you guys are the ambassadors, represent the club, represent yourself well. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is we're gonna have our next coaches meeting. It's gonna be November 18th, that Monday, November 18th. Same time, 7:30 to 8:30. I know some of the coaches that are coaching at that time. We'll see what we can figure out. But we're gonna, if it's not at 7:30, it will be up to 8:30. But we'll let you guys know before that. But at least save that date and what we're doing. And we will be having monthly meetings. And again, 1 hour. And it's all about growth mindset. I want to go over this one here really quick. So if you don't have, here, can I have another one? Oh, there it is. All right, so a growth mindset. Now, this is an actual research article. Can anybody volunteer to read it? Now, just to give you guys a heads up, a growth mindset, I'm not going to go ahead and read it because I want you to intake that information and process that yourself. That way you can think of it. We'll go over it and we'll talk about it. So anybody volunteer? I don't keep looking at me.
I'll read it.
Oh, there you go, Justin, thank you.
All right, a growth mindset is the belief that one's intelligence, competencies, and abilities can be developed. Unlike individuals with a fixed mindset or the belief that one's abilities are static, those who possess a growth mindset are more likely to persevere in the face of obstacles, crave learning rather than approval, perceive failures as opportunities to improve, and both process and apply feedback in order to grow. The development of a growth mindset can increase a player's confidence, academic achievement, motivation, and self-esteem.
Thank you. So notice I underlined pretty much the first paragraph on the main topic that I wanted you guys to catch. And when you read that, can anybody tell me or just share with the group what goes through your mind as when you read that? What process is happening in your head? Development. All right. Anybody else?
Just in life in general, I live by this. You know, you just have to constantly. If I learn something new today, it's a good day. You know.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. And the fact that he says he lives by it. Imagine it's a lifestyle. Next, who else wants to read the next one?
Growth mindset, especially applicable to the soccer environment. In a 2008 study about the maintenance of self-esteem, Nussbaum and Dweck found a correlation between a fixed mindset and defensiveness, as well as between a growth mindset and remediation of self-improvement. Therefore, to prepare our players to constructively manage feedback, push themselves to improve, develop tenacity, and cope with setbacks, it's necessary that we, as instructors, encourage the development of a growth mindset.
So, Nussbaum and Carol Dweck, as a matter of fact, Carol Dweck just wrote a book called The Mindset. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it. It's incredible. Positive growth, it's just pretty much growth mindset against the fixed mindset. So if you guys get a chance to read Carol Dweck, incredible. So So from reading that, can anybody give us some feedback on what you understood? I'm gonna do that like it's going. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Tristan real quick.
Alright.
I know, it's okay, don't worry about it. You got it.
So it's just basically telling us that we have to remind ourselves that we're the teacher and that we gotta encourage that to the kids self-improvement, always growing, and just every day you have to do something to help yourself, improve yourself.
Beautiful. Anybody else? Good job. All right.
I kind of touch on this with the players, like after our game ended. Let's say Tuesday, we practiced Tuesday. Hey, can we talk a little bit about our last match? What can we do better? You know?
Yeah.
I think about it myself. What can I do better? What kind of sub should I have done? Should I have put this player here, etc.? So this is a constant vision of everyone and the team as the unit. So what can we do better? Yeah.
That's the best way to say we. It's not a one person deal. Next one. Anybody else? Rafa, go for it.
Engaging in this activity will understand the significance of a growth mindset. Explore the malleability of the brain, brainstorm ways to nurture a growth mindset, and then practice responding to both feedback and failure.
And just like in soccer, practice, practice, practice. And guess what? Failure. How many times, we're expecting our players to do amazing and it doesn't go our way. The ball doesn't go in. We go down 2, 3 goals. Everybody's head is down. You know, it happens all the time. But those are the moments that you should be able to say, hey, what is it that we can work on? Those games that you lose are the ones you really want to analyze. The games that where you're winning 5-0, guess what? Your team is rolling to that team. But when you're learning really when your team is losing. But then that's putting you in a situation to say, what am I doing? Or what is it that I need to do as a coach to help my players? But remember, it's their kids. You're their teacher, you're their mentor, you're their coach. When they say coach, that's a big word. Hey coach, hey coach. A lot of the times, the kids will listen to the coach more than the parent. And I'm sure you guys have seen that. If you guys are parents, some of you guys may already even see that with your kids. They go to school, they come back, no, my teacher said this. So she's right and you're not, because my teacher said it. Or then you hear other ones where you say, my coach said this. Oh no, I'm gonna do this because my coach said it. So imagine when you ask, or you give those words to those players, they're listening. They may process it differently than other kids. You may think they're not catching it, but guess what? Everything you say, they absorb.
You want to hear another one? Some parents come to you and say, Coach, but you talk too much. Because you don't listen. You listen not to you. Believe me, a lot of parents tell me that.
Imagine that. Talk to my kid. He doesn't want to do his homework. And they go and talk to the coach. That's beautiful to hear. All right, let's go to turn it over. So this is pretty much the assignment that I kind of did myself. This is the question that I created right here in the back. The brain is constantly developing, allowing us to grow and develop. Although it is scientifically proven that the brain can grow, it does not mean that we each adopt a growth mindset. The belief that we can get better at things will actually help us do so. Bodybuilders work out, and what happens? All you open up, right? Sprinters, they do sprints, the 100 meters, the buff, big, strong. Long distance runners, they can outrun those big, fast sprinters any day of the week. And the long distance runner, they're skinny, petite, different body, different muscle. But your muscle, your brain is also a muscle. When you read a book, guess what? Your brain is working. It's connected. It's working. So it's the same thing. Your muscle, you work out, you get bigger. You read a book, your brain gets bigger. So I'll leave you guys with that. Ask your players to explain why they think that is the case. If players are having difficulty brainstorming, use more concrete prompts such as questions. This is the way you guys should be asking this. How do you think you will perform in the next game. If we are thinking, the team we're going to play is too good. So if you're already walking into that field with the mindset, and you're telling your players, oh man, that team is really good. What do you think the outcome's going to be? How do you think your players are going to perform? Think of that. How will you feel about losing an important game if your coach said, I think each of you play amazing today. Today you really left it on the field. During practice next week, let's tweak some of our plays to boost scoring. So you're giving them information, you're giving them feedback in a positive way. So a growth and a fixed mindset. Reflection questions for you guys. Do you think that it's possible to develop only a growth mindset or only a fixed mindset? So I'm not going to have you guys do this. This is your homework for the break. If you could improve one thing about yourself, what would it be? Now I'm not asking for an essay. Just 1-2 lines, very simple. It should give yourself 5 minutes to think of this when you walk away. Think of, if you could improve one thing about yourself, what would it be? How will you go about it? How will you go about improving that thing you say you're going to improve? And then, do you think we need to fail before we can succeed, and why? So those are the questions that I'll leave you guys with. And the other side, we have some examples of a growth and a fixed mindset. Now, these are things that you might hear from your players or even yourself at times. So let's go over a few examples of what could be a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. First one, can you read the first one for the growth mindset? Thank you, Lara.
If I try hard, then I can learn and thrive.
If I try hard, then I can learn and thrive. What would be what's the fixed mindset?
If I try hard, then that means I am not smart.
What do you guys think of that? That the growth mindset and the fixed mindset.
One of them, his brain's asleep.
Who?
The fixed.
Positive versus negative. Positive versus negative. Very simple. Next one. Number 2. Sarah again.
I value learning and improving.
And what would be the fixed mindset? Jesse.
I value living smart.
Ooh. So, which one would you guys like to be in?
Learning.
Value learning and improving, right? That's it. Next one. Let's go to the next one. Come on, guys, help me out. We gotta read it all over with the next 5 minutes.
Obstacles motivate me to work even harder.
And the fixed?
Setbacks and obstacles mean that I am not good enough.
Have you guys heard that before from any particular kid or anybody? Probably, right? Probably. Next one.
I love challenges. I don't like challenges because they reveal my weaknesses.
So, a fixed mindset, it's like, nah, I'm going to go for the easy. Have you guys heard from players that say, man, I want to play that team that we beat 10-0? And it's like,
So, I got a question. When you get someone with that mindset, how do you get them out of that?
So that's the journey that we're all in. How do we get and help a kid?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've been trying for a long time to speak to certain players a different way, and they say, "What's going on?" Okay, well, you see it at the game. Okay. Do you see it at the game? No. Okay.
That's all I see.
So that's what I'm saying. So how do we
Beautiful
fix
question.
that?
How do we fix that? Listen, I'm not giving you guys answers. I'm giving you guys information, tools to help you. So that could be an easy fix, right? Hey, but my question to you is, as a coach, as a mentor, as a leader, what can you do to take that as a challenge and find a way to connect with them?
It's
With that player.
It's baby steps. You just gotta develop them. You just
Tell them.
You just gotta tell them, look, if you do this, don't praise them, but show them, hey, you did this game. Next game, another small challenge that you know he can achieve, and then they'll start getting that confidence within themselves to actually get better. You know what I mean?
Little by little. Little steps, baby steps. And guess what? You're gonna find players, people like that all the time. And I'm sure that I actually put it on the bottom of our agenda. Remember, if you can spot greatness in others, then you already have greatness in you. Now, you can take that however you want. But my challenge for you would be, you're going with this process. There's some certain kids that you try different things, it's not working. Then that's what you have to tell yourself, look in the mirror and challenge yourself. What else can I do as the adult to connect with this, the 14, 15-year-old kids now? And guess what? It's a challenge. It's not easy. And guess what? You're dealing with these kids from a long day. Have you ever thought of even asking them, how was your day in school? Because guess what? Something must have happened at that kid. Something must be happening at school, at home, where he's coming out with this type of mentality, for whatever mentality he may have. And those are the things as a coach that we have to think to ourselves and step back and say, I have no idea what's happening with this kid. What could be the reason that he's acting this way? Did he have a bad day? Something at home? Multiple things. So the holistic part of it, when you look at the whole vision of it, it's a hard approach. And for you to be in that situation, it's hard. And that's what we need to learn, how to give ourselves the opportunity to have a growth mindset, so that we can go ahead and turn around and teach this to our kids. Because you're already going through it. We're all going through it at some point. And you had another one, go ahead.
No, it's just my opinion on that, and I just think that for me, I always ask the parents for help, you know, but I also study the parent as well, because everything starts at home, and that's a big obstacle that we have to go through, because if that thing is at home, and it's very difficult because we get it for 2 hours a day, let's say 4 hours a week, the parents keep them at home forever, you know, for a long time. So when they come to us, they come from that with that mentality, and so for us to try to change that in 4 hours a week, that is very difficult. Something I want to share, we had to suspend a player just because he was just not working. And the reason why we just didn't cut him is because we don't have more players. And that's difficult. So that kind of like worked out for that player, but I guarantee you 1 week, he's going back to normal. So I spoke to different parents and they tell me, oh, how come you didn't tell me this? What's the point? I've been talking to you the whole year and nothing's changed. So what's the next thing? I mean, I get what you're saying. We're trying to change their mindset and change how they think, so they'll be positive and productive out on the field, let's say, because that's what we want them to be. At the same time, we want them to be a better person as well. But when you get those rocks, you can't do nothing about it. And that's, you know, that's just my opinion, and it's very difficult. You get some.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to do this. Game after game. So the mind is already set at a certain point. And for more than we want to change or help that one person / player, it just can't happen. I'm telling you this because we had some players for almost 3 years now. You can just get through them. So at that point, what do? For us, let's get rid of them and get a new player. Because we did what we could.
Solution, right?
Well, we did what we could. I mean, it wouldn't be that easy because I said 3 years. You know, we deal with them for 3 years. So the easiest solution, first week, get out of here, bye. You know, but again, that's what my question is in general.
Is that something that could be like filtered out through tryouts? I mean, like, you know, like, is it just going to be a one-day tryout just to see their skills, or are you actually seeing what their work habits are when they're on the actual field, when they play with others, you know?
But for us, we analyze all of that. You know, we learn it day by day because for us, we were just looking at skills.
Right.
But it comes in a package.
Right.
So you have to analyze skills, education, parents, and everybody around
That's
him.
what I'm saying. Like, if the tryout was more than just a one-time tryout, like if it was like, all right, you're gonna practice with the team for a month or four training sessions. That way you can see how he unfolds on the field and how he interacts with other players. Could that be integrated into the tryout as opposed to, oh, he can handle the ball well? Well, that's cool, but you don't show up other times, you know?
That's a great comment, and for us to go over that, and when we have our tryouts, we can focus on that as well. And it could be a good way for us to start seeing a whole, like again, the whole player, not just the skills when they walk into the pitch.
The bad part, and sorry to interrupt, in that regard, in my opinion, is that if they're shopping, they want to lock it.
They want to know
You know what I'm
now.
saying?
Yeah.
So it would be fantastic if you could just have them lingering for a month.
Yeah.
But reality is, if they're shopping,
They're going from
you want to lock it, you know?
What did you want, I mean,
So no, and good, because notice that we're having, communication where somebody's dealt with that, or somebody has more insight of something that's happening. Yeah, hey, tryouts, but guess what? They're shopping around. You want to lock them down. So it's one of those things that, as a club, as a unit, we talk about it, and then hey, it comes up. Now we can address it. How can we take and tackle this for the benefit of the club and to get the kids? But on that part of those kids, I challenge you. And imagine now, if you already had that kid for 3 years and he's coming back to you, you gotta find a way to get to him. That's your challenge. Because guess what? In 5-10 years from now, that kid's gonna be a grown man. And guess what? That kid might be like, Coach, you were the one that didn't give up on me. So imagine that. Imagine if you have that one kid that says, man, I'm not gonna cuss you. I was the bad apple of that team, but guess what? You changed my life. You stuck around and you guided me every single time I messed up. And you give me that opportunity. Think of that. Again, it could all be different scenarios, right? Because we're all dealing with different people. We all have different backgrounds. But I love that because guess what? It's bringing it up. There's something that we have to discuss. And if he's dealing with that, I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be another team dealing with similar situations. Similar situations.
My situation is the 14 kids that think they are the best, and they know everything. They don't need a coach anymore.
It's only 13 years old. They're only 2006, right?
Your age, the hormones. Yeah, it gets difficult. I mean, when you're trying to, that's why the tryouts are different. I mean, those are things we're gonna focus on. But I just see that it's in the older ages. If you get kids, it's kind of difficult, But like you said, maybe we gotta figure out some different way to approach it. We were that age before. We gotta maybe come down and figure some stuff out.
And again, it's a process.
So in other words, Chris, would you like us to keep dealing with those players or let them go?
Look, if they're a problem, you gotta understand, some kids are, there are problems to the situation, right? You have, like a teacher, right? She'll have 20 students in the classroom, she's not gonna sit there, and that bad student just keeps acting up, she'll try out all the obstacles, right? But if it's just, you're looking for something that's gonna sink in your team, that's gonna make it complete, and this guy's kind of tearing it apart.
That's what's happening.
Maybe you have to sit down and, but that's.
So obviously, after taking the steps, and we need to sit with the parent and meet with them, meet with the kid, and say, hey, this is the expectation, this is what's happening, it's been going on. Let them know the expectation. Again, go over it again with them. And ultimately, if it doesn't work out, and if you run through all the possible scenarios that you can, and they say, hey, this is not for me, then sometimes you just have to cut ties. And unfortunately, sometimes that's the way it goes. But as a growth mindset person, as a growth mindset coach, your job as a mentor for this kid should be to say, what can I do to challenge yourself? Find a way, and trust me, I know it's difficult. And that's where you have to say it's a challenge for you. I work with kids, I'm telling you, for the last 20 years, I was track and program supervisor for the USD, and I would deal with this problem all the time. Every single time, you'll get a call when there's a problem, and that was your job. Go and address the problems, go meet with the principal. Whatever it was, guess what? Those kids are kids. You're still the role model. And give them that, give them your time, but use it as a challenge for yourself. Challenge yourself to say, what can I do? You never know. You never know. So that's a good one, man. I really want to see how this one's going to turn out. Because I can almost guarantee you, you're going to make a difference in that kid's
Just got
life.
one last question.
Yeah.
Like just in general. Has anybody had a bad apple that actually turned around?
They just had one. I kicked him off of practice, told him to go home.
What happened after that?
I thought he was done 2 weeks, and I didn't call him. And then he texted me, he says, Coach, if I go to the next game, will I play? And I'm like,
So that's all they want to do, they just want to play. That's why he said
right,
that.
right. And I said, well, you know, you have to make it up to the team, and you're not starting, and because we're playing San Bernardino. So actually, he came back strong, and we have a good relationship now.
When did that happen?
I'm sorry?
When did that happen?
About a month ago.
And 1 month is still good?
He's super. Never been better now. Yeah.
I'll give you another example. I was a coach for Animal Ralph Bunch in South Central, right in the middle of all the cholos, 38th Street, and I had 3 straight out. Their family members, their brothers are straight cholos, straight gangsters, straight. And this kid wanted to play soccer, but guess what? He was a thug. He was a cholo. But we had him in the team. I had him for 2 years. I kid you not. This kid, his life, he wanted to change. He wanted to be the difference. But he was influenced a lot by
I said, that he wants to change.
But he was influenced, and his role models were not what he. I mean, he was smart enough to realize it. But at least for me, it's just my point is that I had this kid. It was a cholo. Was always getting in trouble. He even had those. I forgot what they call them.
The Cortez?
No, not the Cortez. No. Ankle break. Ankle break. Ankle break. You go. You know, you go from home to school, back home. So long story, you know, this guy.
You know they're in style now. You know?
I have some Cortez myself.
Yeah, my son's taking a game. I go, look there.
So this kid, we actually still keep in contact with him, my wife and him, and he's 26 years old now. You know, he graduated from the Dominguez Hills. Very complete different person. Still has the tattoos and all that stuff. But guess what? He comes back and he tells us, hey, you guys made a difference on me. You guys really, I really appreciate it. You know, when he gave us a hard time, guess what? We always work with him. And he goes, now he literally comes back, and I would love to bring that kid over to just see, so you guys can meet him. We'll see. But the point is that this person changed, and at the end of his journey, he's still changing people's lives. But he was able to come back and tell us, hey, you guys were the ones that made a difference on us. And we heard that, and to this day, we still hear stories like that from the kids that we trained from running the marathons. I'm 38, and I've been doing it already for 16 years running marathons, and again, I would have 16 this year. But anyways, the point is that just have that growth mindset and be open to any possibilities. And I want to leave you guys with that. Have that growth mindset. I know we went over our time. Anything you want to add, Chris, before we go? I know I wanted to do questions and answers, but we're running out of time, and I don't want to hold you guys more than your time. But comments, concerns?
I have a suggestion.
Yeah,
Since
good.
you guys touched on the topic of hiring additional coaches, etc. If we can add like an ETS, like extra training sessions divided by age group, because during training you try to develop the unit as a team, but there's no real individual skills, like the skills training. So if maybe we can add that to CCFC, I think that'll be a good addition to the team. And another thing, because fields are important, I don't know what you guys feel about away from Culver City, but in the Weisburn district, they just built a new high school. I have the contact details for the lady who's gonna be, hopefully, they're gonna have lights. You know?
And where's this school? Where?
It's
Inglewood and Hawthorne.
no, it's in it's El Segundo Boulevard, and it's by the Air Force Base.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the Air Force. Nash.
Is it
Yeah,
Nash?
Nash. It's by the Air Force Base.
The turf field?
It's gonna be a turf field. Yeah, they're just building it.
We eventually we're going to be contacting, you know, and looking for making sure that we do have the field availability for, especially because we are growing. We're gonna grow more, so get ready for that.
Because the fields with lights is like gold, man.
Yeah, it really is.
Thank you for that one, Brian. Anyone else has another question?
I just,
Rafa?
for the tryouts, is it possible to do combined age groups for tryouts? Let's say, for example, I know 2009 is their last year, next year as 99. So combine it with 2010, which are also 99. So just in case we don't have enough boys to form a team, well, at least we have maybe a combination of boys that may be able 2010s to play up if they have the skills necessary. And that way we would have to split up the tryouts in too many sessions.
And I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do it the way it was happening before, but now we're gonna get everybody involved. But yes, I know that's already happening with one of the boys team where the 2011s are playing up to the 2010s, and there's only like 2 kids that are 2010s. So there's a few teams that have a couple kids playing up where they can actually play down to their normal age and will benefit. If we get the numbers, by all means, we'll definitely do that. But yes, we are gonna do those where
It's just an easier way to get more numbers on the field. And remember, perception is reality. So if there's a perception that we didn't have enough boys on the field, then the perception from the parents will be, well, they don't have enough, then we go shop around, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So, I apologize, I missed earlier, you're gonna add all these new teams next season?
No, that's the hope, the idea, right? When we send out the flyers for the tryouts, if we have the numbers.
Now, I'm not sure what your guys' plan is. Does it make sense to try to grow it organically as opposed to picking up the team from somewhere else? That would make more sense to me. Especially a team that's, if you pick up a team that's got 6 or 7 guys and they're silver or silver elite, they can stay in that category. As opposed to trying to grow a new team, and it's difficult to grow teams.
It's huge. This crazy. I mean, I think everybody's struggling with numbers. I mean, us ourselves, we're struggling with. We just got our 14th player, and 3 of our players were hurt this past weekend. We played a full game, no subs, and yeah. So if we get the numbers, by all means. The reason I just put that up there because those are the teams that we don't have now. But when we send out the flyers in the next week or 2 weeks and start sending out, I know Tres mentioned we're gonna do a massive mail to all the Culver City residents, because obviously we're in Culver City. If parents are 5 minutes away, most likely they're going to be saying, hey, I'll drive my kids to high school for the club practice, as opposed to having, have to drive all the way to downtown. And usually people want to stay local.
Right.
The drive, I mean, you guys know traffic in LA is insane. But yeah, so ideally, we're not trying to add all these teams, but if we have a turnout where a team may show up with almost a full team, then we'll work with them.
But what are you guys trying to accomplish? What's the club's?
Well, what we're trying to do is, stay alive. And in order to stay alive, you gotta have all these teams. You gotta have these roots that you're planting, right?
Right.
So we don't have academy, what they call right here, when you have toddlers or 4-year-olds running around, right? Which that's what sends your seeds first. So we have to find 2013 kids that are willing to play, of course, right? But that's a young age, they're 5 years old. So our main focus right now is going to be on the smaller teams, right? Because as 2002, they're already outgrown, done. Right, 2003.
Once you're 12, 13, they're set.
Yeah.
They're pretty set.
You know what I'm saying? For those teams, we're not trying to look to create 3 or 4 teams.
Okay, that makes sense.
What we're trying to do is get these ages that are here that on the paper.
Bottom heavy, so
Yeah.
you can grow.
Yeah.
Organic. You grow organic from the young age.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
like we have, so the situations we're having right now, just so you guys know, if you look around, we have a lot of teams that players are playing up.
Yeah.
Right? And that's given us a disadvantage at the end of the day. And what's happening, we're not creating a correct environment for the smaller kids, the younger kids, and we're not creating a good environment for the kids that are the age, right? Because the ones that are little, they're getting beat up and they're gonna get discouraged. The ones that are younger, but the ones that are of age of that group, they're like, well, we're losing every time, so guess what? Next year, they're gone, right? So we have to figure out how to create those teams where 2012 is going to be in 2012. Right. A true, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do. And in order to do that, we have to hit hard the community, because that's where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? and we have to understand the demographics are changing, right? SMU, like, their decision that they decided to go there, surf now, right? Because they saw the club tumbling down and they didn't have no answer for it. You have Premier, LA Premier that turned surf now. So, right? So the only other question for Culver City right now, and that all the points, that everything is pointing to, is to Westside Breakers, right? Or LA Breakers, right? Because they got the ENCL, they cuckooed everybody out of it, right? But now they're falling apart too. The youngers are falling apart because their promises haven't reached there. So we have to see that. And LA Surf, SMU Surf, and Premier are catching on to that, and they're thriving on Breakers' youngers team. So we have all these Culver City players going everywhere. How can we keep them here, right? And that's why we're trying to hit the bottom. And we were gonna touch, these are things that, the skills, we're gonna build them, and we're sitting down, I mean.
Are we doing the Friday night sessions for the 4, 5, 6-year-olds?
We're trying to do that, we gotta figure it out, right, because.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah, they're doing that every week. They're having free clinics.
You start your team.
Yeah. That's I actually before I joined the club, I went to strikers like that. They had a free clinic. Like it was like 4 nights. Invite everybody, and that's how they were shopping for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get lucky, 1 or 2 kids pop up, and you're like, all right.
So that's the goal, to have those weekly clinics. And I actually talked to Rene last time, and I told him that that's something that I know he was doing before. But again, now is we're going to be working as a unit, as a whole club. Where now we're discussing things like this. Where now it's not just going to be one coach running the clinic on Fridays, and we'll have a schedule. We'll set that out. But we'll invite everybody. Again, everybody and their mama can come out and play, as long as they have their cleats, their proper gear, the water, whatever it is that they need to have.
And a waiver.
And a waiver. We'll follow that one.
Yeah, so just to end on that, all those information, guys, be patient with us. This is his first meeting. This was an introduction to you guys. We asked them to hit it hard, hit the club hard. Let's come in, let's change everything up, let's make it better, and it's gonna take time. All these things are we have them in our clouds, we have them there. We're grabbing them, and we're trying to put everything together. It's gonna come time, we gotta find space and all that, because that's a big issue with us, and the more teams come in, the more limited we're gonna be with space, and everybody, as we know, wants the turf fields, right? So we have to figure out a way to create that, but we are working on it, tryouts, we started talking yesterday about it with him. Skills, we've been talking to see if it's gonna work out, and after all, I just wanna say, any questions you guys have regarding tournaments, anything that has to do coaching, letting go a player, accepting a player, all those questions, can I change practices? All those questions are gonna be carried on to him, right? He'll be able to answer all those questions for you guys. Anything administrative outside of that, you'll come to the board and all that. And one last thing is time. You guys, the meetings are 1 hour. We're trying to keep it like that, but understand that with 1 hour of a time, we're gonna barely be able to get to you guys, So consider that the meetings will go over maybe 20, 30 minutes, Just put in a slot that we'll probably be here 2 hours sometimes, Just so you guys understand and come in with that mindset, And that's all gonna be up to him, so, yeah, go ahead.
Is he also gonna help us with practices and watching
Yeah, we're
the
gonna
games
we're gonna work. He's he's gonna take care of all that. Give him time. We're just setting up, getting to know him. Today was like a welcome, right?
Yeah.
Introduction and all that what he did. So let's just be patient with us. It's there. It's a start now. We've taken a step in the right way. Today I see that you guys were challenged and I stood back here and observed everything, and I saw you guys very engaged and interested in it. When I came in here, I saw faces like, what we gonna do? how long is this gonna be? But in the meeting, you guys changed it, and I like that, right? So those are positive things that we're seeing, right? And we talked about it, it wasn't a choice that we just said, oh, you know what? Just pull them out of the rabbit hat, let's see whose name we pull out. No, we sat down, we talked about it with the board, and we went over, and he had a meeting with us and all that. So, and right away, out of all the choices, we like that. And there's a bunch of choices out there. There's A licensed coaches that have done it for years, and with a higher experience, but we weren't looking for that. We didn't want somebody to come and tear up the club and tear up what we've done, We want somebody to help us and carry us there, and the board and the club do believe that he's gonna be the answer for us, So be patient, understanding, anything you guys have for them, talk to them. Any of the administrative, you guys can come and talk to us and all that. And when I'm in here with you guys, I'm a coach. We separate that if we have to. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add?
Oh, no, just, again, it was like Chris says, it pretty much is a small introduction. I don't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of stuff. I have literally two and a half pages on my agenda that I have to cut out because I don't want to be, I learned that if you give people more than a page on their agenda, you lose them. Giving you 2 pages already or something else is a lot already for the small introduction. But like Chris said, it's going to take time. Just like we are developing our players, and it takes time for them to get to where we want them to be, it's going to be the same for us. I'm going to get a chance to get, little by little, get a chance to know the coaches, your players, what's going on in your team, get an opportunity to see what's happening. And by all means, I'm going to be sending you guys information, development. Some of the meetings we're going to be here, it might just be a training session where we'll watch video, review it. Some of them might be on the field. I'll bring somebody in, they'll run an official clinic for us, where we're actually hands-on learning on the field. So those are some of the things. I'm already contacting another guy from Galaxy that does specifically sports medicine that will come and give us more information regarding all the injuries that we're getting. One of the things I hear all the time is injuries. And as a coach, yeah, we might be good at coaching the kids, but our strong side may not be getting them to learn how to stretch correctly. Good proper warm-up where everybody's warming up, in a way where the kids are stretching. It's a dynamic stretch. It's not just regular just standing there. You're moving. So those are the things we're going to be learning. So as a whole club, as a unit, if somebody's out and says, hey, can you cover for me? Can you do this for that? Hey, you already know that this is what I'm doing with my team. I'm going to go and take that because I know that coach is doing the same warm-up, the first 10, 15 minutes. Basic warm-ups that we can all come up with. And I know everybody's working with something different depending on what's happening in your game. But yes, we're eventually going to be having, a basic 10, 15-minute warm-up that everyone should be doing because it's the right way to make sure that the kids are stretching, make sure that they're warming up correctly, make sure that they're getting enough touches on the ball. And guess what? If they're not touching the ball, they're not getting better. And it's all about playing soccer with the ball. So if your kids are not getting that many touches on the practice sessions, that's what I try to stay away from the word practice sessions. It's training sessions. Practice is when you go out there, you do a one-on-one. Training is when you're out there teaching your kids a session. So little by little, we're going to continue to develop, learn more, and again, we're going to get to know each other. At any given point, by next year, guess what? We're all going to be, going to people's birthday parties, hanging out. Again, you don't have to like everybody, but we're going to try to be a one team, one unit. I want to just thank you guys for being here. I know that Chris said we went over our time. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet because I know everybody has family, you want to go home at the end of the day. But just be ready for that 1.5, maybe 2 hours on some days. If not, it will be an hour. And again, it's all about getting better and learning and taking those little baby steps, little by little. And it's going to be the same thing for us. We're going to get the chance to know each other and get better. And I'm here just to give you guys the tools that I have so we can get better. Again, I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do, but I'm gonna guide you guys to the vision of the club. And it's not my vision, it's the vision of the club. And I had a trouble with I wanted to add a little video to it, but we're gonna run out of time. That's for the next meeting. Because I wanted to go and read over the player contract agreement that the kids are signing with their parents. But are we reading it? And are we also making sure that we are following those guidelines? And if we're, again, like at the beginning, we expect our players to be there, then we need to make sure that we're also meeting those expectations. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. Chris, thank you. Thank you for the backpacks. We'll send the video so you guys can review it, see it. Anybody that missed, we have it.